Day 3. Hey guys, it is Mindez here playing some Robinson Crusoe Adventure on the Cursed Island. Last time we did very little other than making a map and discovering 2 places on the island. Other than that, we've moved the camp twice to pretty much undo everything that we did. And we've actually discovered some hills. So that's going to let us create the bricks, it's going to let us create the pot. And it's going to... Oh, the map's going to let us create the shortcut as well. So there's a few more adventures. We've got a few more options today. I just want to start this video off with a quick rules explanation of weather and weather effects, because we're going to have to start dealing with the rain dice as of day 4. Now that means we're going to have to start rolling this orange dice here, and that's probably going to be in this video unless day 3 goes absolutely horribly. You will already know because you could look in the description for the timestamps. But then, yes, this dice has 3 different sides. It's got a single rain cloud, a double rain cloud, and a snow cloud. Once we get to the weather phase on day 4, we are going to have to start rolling it. Now, for every rain cloud we get, we have to discard 1 wood and 1 food. So, theoretically, every day we could need 4 food. That dam is looking increasingly mighty tempting. Rain clouds can be mitigated though. We've already seen one of the cooked abilities, Hooch, which lets you negate rain clouds. But for every level of roof that you have, you can also negate a level of rain, because it stops the rain getting into the camp, so it stops it having much of an effect. That is why it is so critical that we very, very quickly get the camp into a nice place. Ideally one of these 2 tiles here, so that we're not stuck on the edge of the map. And then we can build a shelter, build a roof, hopefully in time for the rain to start. The other side, the snow side, that cannot be mitigated by roof, and for every snow cloud that we get, we have to discard a wood. So you can see that's going to start eating into our wood supply, especially when we have to roll this, which is the snow die, which can have 2 snow clouds on it, so we could get very, very unlucky in terms of the wood we have to spend. So again, very high level description there, but we're going to see how it works as soon as we get there. Alright, for now though, it is time to start phase 1 of day 3. The cook is going to be resolving this action, and we draw our second event of the game. It's... Wow. I am surprised that this came up exactly now. It's rain! It was a very timely explanation. You feel like you're back in London. I take offence to that, but whatever. Put a rain token in the weather space. So that's going to automatically count as a rain cloud for this turn. Oh goody. We also get the grey question mark at the top there. That's not going to do anything because we already have the grey question mark in effect. And we get an action to build a stronger roof. We're going to need a fur in order to do that action. So one action pawn and a fur. We can discard this card and get 1 determination token. And if we don't do that, then when this gets pushed off the board, we're going to have to put another rain in the weather space. So yeah, we can either increase our roof level, or we can get more rain in the future. That's annoying. So now we've got multiple threats in effect here. What's going to happen is this is going to come into the threats area and push the old threat out of the way. Now we can only have 2 threats in effect at one time. If another threat comes in, which it's going to do in the next morning, then it's going to push that out off the board, and then its secondary effect activates. Now in the effect of Cloudburst, the secondary effect is there at the bottom. It just says nothing happens, because that Cloudburst, as we found out, isn't too bad. It just made us move the camp for a bit. But once this rain goes off, we're going to get more rain. So that's why we might want to deal with that threat before it gets pushed off the board. Morale phase, and generally morale is pretty good. The cook is going to get 2 determination tokens. So he's currently on 6. Now what I'm thinking at the moment is that's quite a lot of determination tokens. We might want to use his Hooch ability to just cancel out this rain when it comes to it. Which again, it might depend on our food situation at the end of the day. But that is always going to be an option. For now, though, it is time for the production phase. We are back on the beach, so we are back to producing 1 food and a wood every day. I'm really hoping we can find somewhere we can move the camp where we can still get that food and wood every day, but be a little bit more inland. And that brings us on to phase 4, and we need to start assigning actions. I don't really think the state of the board has changed very much from what's just happened. Like I say, the rain we can't deal with because we need fur. But I don't feel like it's super mega high priority. It's at least 2 days before that secondary effect's going to happen. And in all honesty, if we have to spend a fur just to get rid of that, we might as well spend that fur on some roof. So I think we're probably going to let that expire as well. But we'll see. What I'm hoping is that the Explorer has recovered, because clearly, for the last couple of days, he's had a bit of a hangover, so his exploration's not quite been at 100%. We are going to send him back out into the wilderness, into 2 areas he has already tried to explore before, so maybe that'll give him some kind of advantage. I don't know. And we're even going to send him with one of these exploration pawns. These cannot lead explorations on their own, but they can go and support someone that's already doing an exploration. So we'll send him down here. Now we know that the next exploration action is going to be guaranteed an adventure anyway, so I'm going to back up this one, because we might as well do the risky one first, and then do the stable one when we're not guaranteed an adventure. So I think those 3 actions are pretty much set in stone. What else do we want? I'm just kind of looking at our array of inventions. I might do a gather action, actually. How much food are we going to need today? We're going to need 2 food. Possibly 3 if we don't want to use the hooch. But we're only guaranteed the one that we've already got. In fact, actually, before we even... I'm going to retro this, because it's not going to change anything. I'm going to use that oil. Let's discard the oil and get 2 wood for the wood pile, which completes the 2nd level. So that's 2 out of 5 levels of the wood pile done now. The 2 smallest piles. I don't mind doing that now. Like, it's a bit of a retroaction because you're supposed to do it before phase 4, but like it's not going to change anything. Like, I meant to do it anyway. I have a lot on my mind right now. So let's send the cook gathering. He spent all yesterday just sat in the camp arranging it, so he's going to go out and do a gather. He's going to go... So the way the gather action works is we actually choose a resource. So I'm going to choose this fish to get some food. And if that is a successful action, we get a food. That's pretty much as simple as it is. Each resource can only produce once a day, so these, where the camp is, are not eligible because they've already produced resources today, but this one hasn't. So 2 more actions remaining, and that gather is risky, of course. It's the same rules as exploring and building, so one pawn to be risky, 2 pawns to be guaranteed, and the further away from camp that you're gathering, the more pawns you have to assign. Same rules as any other action. I am still very tempted to do the dam. That will guarantee us a bit of food. But I'm also tempted to do the pot. Because that will, once we get a surplus of food, which I think, if we start doing some hunting, we might get a surplus of food. We can start turning it into health. So, are we anticipating having a problem with food today? Maybe, actually. So, yeah, no, you, Man Friday, are going to go try and build the dam. And I might actually guarantee that. Because that way, even if we need to use non-perishable food, we are at least guaranteed not to starve tonight. Of course, we need to use one of our woods as well, so I'm going to put that with the action, so we don't forget that we've assigned it to that action. Is that something we're happy with? I'm just going to have a quick look to make sure I've not missed any opportunities anywhere. Oh, I've definitely missed an opportunity, yes! We should use these candles. So I'm going to use these candles. I'm going to turn those in for one of these brown tokens, which we can use to guarantee a build. Manfrede is going to be the one to do it, so it's going to be Manfrede and the pawn and the wood. That gives us another action which we can do something with. Which I think might even go towards the pot. I'm thinking either the pot or a range camp. No, it's going to be the pot. This is good. This is good action economy. We've got 2 guaranteed actions, which are guaranteed in ways that can only be done as support. We're doing as many actions as we possibly can here, so we should get a good amount of stuff done today, assuming we don't fail all of our rolls. Alright, I'm going to count that as locked in. I'm happy with this decision. So moving on to the resolution part of the round. We're not dealing with any threats, we're not dealing with any hunting, so let's start doing some building. The dam, first of all, is guaranteed, so we're going to use this wood, put that back in the supply. We've now used our candles. Thank you very much, Manfrede. We have the dam. And that's simple as it is. You just assign more actions, and we've got it. That is going to give us 2 non-perishable food. So we're getting a bit of a stockpile. Our other building action is the pot down here. Now the chance of success on this dice is 4 out of 6. There are 2 fail sides. So, you guys ready to fail? We fail! You're a useless cook. You spent all day yesterday in arranging the camp. And now, when I actually need you to do something... But man is the cook so determined right now. Alright, he's going to take a wound, or she's going to take a wound, sorry. And then we're going to have ourselves a brown adventure. That doesn't sound very nice, does it? Alright, savings. You have found some weak branches. You think about saving them for future use. Discard this card, or get 2 wood and shuffle into the event deck. So, without looking at the bottom of this card, I'm very much avoiding looking at the bottom of the card, I assume that this wood is going to have some consequences, like it might be infested with termites or something like that. So there'll be some future effect that will not be very good. But I think that wood is really useful. 2 wood. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get the 2 wood. I'm going risky wherever I can. That gives us 2 wood. That's a good effect right now. And we're going to put this into the event deck. So, closing my eyes. Keep shuffling. Keep shuffling. And stop. Oh god. That, my friend, is the site of consequences. So that's fine. We don't get the pot. Next up is gathering. So we've got 1 risky gather. Now, we had to do an adventure anyway, so that's not too bad. What is the chance of success with the gather dice? So what have we got here? We've got one possible failed side. The rest are all successes. So I'm looking forward to the chef being useless yet again. Success! An unmitigated success. Fantastic. No adventure. Oh no, sorry, there is an adventure. We're guaranteed an adventure anyway. But at least we get the fish. So let's get a banana-shaped fish, put it in our future resources area, and then deal with an adventure. I have made the editing decision to start covering up the bottoms of cards. Weather breakdown. You see a storm coming towards the island. Oh dear God. What is wrong with the weather in this? We've had a cloudburst, we've had rain. I know we've got a card in there that says it's about to rain. Now we've got a storm. This is terrible. Fortunately, nothing happens right now. So we're just going to shuffle this in. Hopefully getting this green off the top of the deck. Question mark. And stop. Yes. So that was a successful gather action at least. Even if it is looking like Manchester, frankly, right now. Alright, exploration. Let's do this one first, because obviously we're guaranteed an adventure anyway. Come on, Explorer, you must have like gone over your hangover. Maybe that's why we crashed in the first place. Was he just drunk? Drunk at the helm? Decided to crash into an island? I think we're getting some lore here. We succeed! We're going on an adventure. Fine, we're going on an adventure anyway. I don't really care. Let's get ourselves a tile. And we discover some mountains. Marvellous. So it's mountains, it's got one food source of birds. We've got another beast for the hunting deck, which is getting... got 3 beasts in there now. We get one discovery token. The totem does nothing, and this is a natural shelter. So if we move the camp there, we would automatically have a shelter. We don't need to specifically build it. Now, that's pretty good, other than the fact that it doesn't have any wood on it. I don't know if it's the case that anything with natural shelter won't have food and wood on it, because maybe that's too good of a tile. But I don't know, it's an option. It is an option. And now we need to do an adventure. So let's get rid of that adventure marker, and let us do it. Say it's a one-side thing. Lost in the thicket. You don't come back to the camp for the night. At the beginning of the next day, you return with something useful. Execute the night phase outside the camp. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Well, so the special rules for this, which I can never fully follow, but I'll try and get it right. So the Explorer's going to be outside of the camp for the night. That means basically that he's not going to get any benefits from our items other than what he's got, or what he finds this day, specifically with this action. So we've got 1 discovery token from finding the mountains. Make it something good. Tobacco. I mean, sure. It's not exactly something you can live off. It's not exactly... something that will stop him from starving, but there we go. So he's going to keep that. I'm going to keep that on his card to show that he's got that. It's not technically in the camp. So after a very quick rules refresh, I think I understand it enough to be able to run through it. He is only going to have tobacco. Even if he gets some more resources from this action, it's only the action that made him spend the night phase outside of camp that he gets to keep the resources from. So that's going to be pretty useless, but he will come back in the morning with that and another discovery token. So this is still in effect. I'm just going to put that down here so we don't forget about it. And I guess I'm going to put his token on there, because that's where he's spending the night. Fortunately, his other explore action is guaranteed. No adventure, no wound. We just get a tile. And because we've got that greater danger token, but we have got a weapon level above at least 1, that's not even going to do anything. So we found some plains. Some grassland, I guess. Let's give it a bit of a closer look. We've got a source of birds. We've got yet another beast for the beast deck. And 3 more discovery tokens. But again, he's not going to have access to those. Those are going to go straight back to the camp. And that greater danger token is going to still stay there. So anything we do on that tile, we're going to need weapon level 4. And I mean anything we do on that tile. I guess thematically this means he actually did this exploration before the other exploration where he got lost. But let's just go ahead and pick out 3 nice discovery tokens. Hopefully 3 nice ones. Alright, first up, we have vegetables. So if we have the pot, we can trade this in to get 2 health. That's just going to go over there. We also have a scenario-specific item, which in this case is the Pirate Saber, which is just 1 weapon level. So we probably trade that in sooner than later. Yet more weapon level. As I say, this is going to be... I think that's going to be key to our success in this one. And we have some thorny bushes, which we can plant, I guess, to get some defense around the camp. Makes sense. But obviously we can't do that. We can't have any palisades until we've got a shelter. Now, it's kind of a bit of a pain that we don't... that these... all 4 tiles we found so far all have beasts on, which means they don't have 2 resources to them. So I think we might just... I'm thinking now we might just want to build the shelter on the beach and just deal with that, because... ah, man, we don't have any wood we can build a shortcut to either. Yeah, it's just... it's a bit of a painful map layout. Maybe we'll do a bit more exploring out here using some more actions, but I think for now we'll just build the shelter on the beach and start hunkering down. But that is going to be another time. Obviously, nobody's arranged the camp, nobody's resting. That's going to be the end of phase 4. Alright. It is time to deal with the weather phase. Now, with the Explorer, he actually doesn't have to deal with any weather. It's only the night phase he does outside camp. The weather phase only affects the actual camp as a whole, so he's not going to be there to deal with it. So it's going to start raining at the camp. He's lost somewhere in the mountains. You know, he can find a cave or something. He can do that. I have every faith in him. He's clearly shown himself to be a very talented and exceptionally driven individual. Can you smell my sarcasm? So we do now get all of these resources up here. The resources box is really not big enough in this game. That's what I've usually found. Maybe that's a sign that I've got too many resources. I don't know. But we only need to feed the cook tonight, which means we only need 1 food. The Explorer, unfortunately, just is not going to eat. There's no way around that. Unless he's going to eat his tobacco, there's nothing he can really do. Although... he could go scouting. Okay, no, sorry. We'll deal with that when we get to night phase. I might have a really, really cool idea, though, but we'll see. Oh, we could get loads of resources here. Alright, meanwhile, the cook, weather phase. That's right, that's where we're up to. We're dealing with rain. Now, that means we have to discard 1 wood and 1 food. Or I could use the hooch to just get rid of it, which I think I'm going to do. Now, we've obviously got 2 perishable food, so we've got 1 spare, but I might also use his grandma's recipe to heal a bit, because, yeah, the cook's going to have a really good night tonight. He's going to make some hooch, he's going to cook his grandma's recipe. I think that's what's going to happen. I think the cook's going to have a really good night, and the Explorer's going to come dripping into the door the next day with his mountain of treasure. So we're going to get rid of that rain. I don't want to deal with it. It's gone. Which means it is time for the night phase. Now I am going to resolve this with the cook first, and then we'll do the Explorer. So the cook back at the camp. First up, we can choose to move the camp. Again, I've kind of gone over my reasons for this, but I'm not going to do it. We're going to start bunkering down on the beach as of tomorrow. Secondly, we need to discard our food, so he's going to eat one of these banana fish. And I'm also going to use his grandma's recipe to discard 2 determination tokens to heal 2 wounds by eating our remaining perishable food. So that's not going to go to waste at the very least. And the cook is now on full health. Man, he's having a good night down there on the beach. Down there on the beach having a little bit of a party. Maybe he's made a little tiki bar for himself or something like that. I can imagine it. I mean, let's be honest, he's not spent the day doing much else. He doesn't have a shelter, though, so he is going to take 1 damage at the very least. As that rain comes in and just kind of causes his tiki bar to come crashing down. I don't know why I'm sticking so heavy to this narrative. And then we discard our remaining perishable food, but that's fine because that's already gone. Second night phase for the Explorer. So first up, he obviously can't move the camp because he doesn't have a camp, but he does have shelter. He's picked the best tile to actually get lost on because he's got caves. He's got natural shelter on that tile, which means he's not going to take any damage from the elements. So he's actually kind of got the last laugh over the cook there, but he doesn't eat. I mean, that's kind of the trade-off here, right? He doesn't eat, so he's going to take 2 damage for not eating. That is going to go over his first morale marker, so we are going to lose morale. But he's going to spend the night, you know what, I'm going to say it right now, he's going to spend the night smoking. He's going to use that tobacco marker that he found He's found like a cave that's just full of crates of tobacco. And that's going to get his morale right back up again. So you know what? They're both having a decent night. Like, he might be a bit hungry, but you know, at least he's got tobacco. That's the lesson here, kids. Oh wait, I said I was going to do some scouting, didn't I? Well, you know what? I did it in the wrong order. I'm not going to backtrack. I don't like backseeing. But I am going to still do the scouting. Should I still do the scouting? Yeah, I'm still going to do the scouting. So I'm going to use 3 of his determination tokens. And we get the chance to draw 2 of these discovery tokens and keep 1. It might be food, in which case I'll feel really bad because I had the opportunity to not take that 2 damage. And actually, yeah, we would have had some food. So we've got, first of all, a goat. That is something that we can kill as long as you have. That means as long as you have at least 1 weapon level, which we do, we can kill it for a food and a fur. So that's a bit of a missed opportunity there. I could have used that ability first, got the goat, killed it, and eaten it. But you know, I didn't. But we can keep the goats. We can bring him back to the beach. And the cook's just going to wake up in the next morning and just going to be goats at the door of the camp. And he's going to be very confused. And secondly, we have a treasure. Ooh. That's pretty interesting, innit? We'll resolve that at some point. I won't quite explain what it is at the moment because mystery. Ooh. Literally, it's called a mystery card. But we're going to deal with it like very, very early on tomorrow anyway, so I'll explain it as soon as day 4 starts, probably. And that's it for day 4. The Explorer comes back. Now, we did have this Lost in the Thicket as well. That was the effect that caused us to spend the turn out of camp, which does say he comes back with another discovery token as well. So as we discard that, let's draw another discovery token. See, these discovery tokens, as I've said that they are key to survival, they have such good things on them. And we have the last scenario-specific item, which is the Medallion of a Lady, which can be turned in for 3 determination tokens on either of our characters. So that's cool. We've got all this stuff which we can barely fit. You know, I'm going to spread out a little bit. So just taking stock, we're not in too bad of a place. We've got a bit of a surplus of food, just in case. We've got a goat we can kill at any time for some food. Yeah, things really are kind of looking up today. I'm going to call this optimism. Unfortunately, that optimism is probably slightly misplaced. This is a quick errata. I've just edited day 3, and I realised that I'm only supposed to keep 1 of these 2 discovery tokens. Well done if you noticed that little error. And I'm going to make errors like that, and sometimes I'm not going to catch them, but when I do, I'll add these little sections in, just like we did in the previous video. I'm always going to get something wrong. If I could go a full episode without getting something wrong, I would be amazed. But yeah, so we need to decide, do you want to keep the goat or do you want to keep the treasure? So what I think I'm going to do, guys, is get rid of the goat. I don't really anticipate having a problem with getting fur. Because we've got so many beasts in the hunting deck, and we have such a good position weapon-wise with this pistol. So I think we'll just get rid of the goat. Now that's going to be discarded off to the side over here. And I'm going to do the treasure now. Just to kind of make it up for you guys. Yeah, I make mistakes, but when I make mistakes, I'll make it good for you guys. So that's going to bring us on to this mystery deck here. Now, this mystery deck contains 3 different types of card. As you can see, there are 3 icons on it. There is a creature icon, a treasure icon, and a trap icon. Now, this discovery token is actually really safe, because we're going to keep drawing cards until we get a treasure, and then whichever the first treasure is we draw, we get. That's how it works. But sometimes when you draw from the mystery deck, you have a chance of getting treasure or a trap. In this case, it's pretty safe, so we're just going to draw until we get a treasure, and there we go. Captain Stone's Spyglass. So that's an item that we can use at any time to reveal the top 3 island tiles put them back on the pile, face up and in any order. So we can actually get to look around the island. Now that maybe ties in pretty well. We'll put it over here to show that we have it. That maybe ties in pretty well with my plan to explore a little bit further away from the camp, but you can only move the camp to an adjacent tile. So really, we'd only really be exploring now for discovery tokens, because I don't want to use 2 full days moving the camp to another tile. That means we get there by, what, day 6? Because we've got to explore and then 2 days to move. Well, actually, no, yeah, day 5, I guess. The end of day 5. But I think it'll at least get us some discovery tokens, right? We can put the ones with the highest discovery tokens at the top of the stack, and that might be quite useful. So that's what the treasure is anyway. Thank you guys for watching. I'm really liking this series so far. This video was way longer than I thought it would be. It looks like we're going to have to go to 1-day videos. I was kind of hoping we'd get 2 days in a video, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll take as long as we need. Let's really get the narrative sorted out. I'm having fun anyway. I hope you guys are as well. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time when we'll, I'm still pretty optimistic. We didn't get the goat. It must have, passed away on the way back from the mountains to the camp. But that happens. It's nature. It's brutal. What can I say? See you next time, folks.